With the questions. The first question is, there is a surface of water in a water tank on the top of a house and it is 4 meters above the tap level. We need to find the pressure of water at the tap when the tap is closed. Now let's try to first visualize the situation. So this is the first one. So we know that the formula for pressure is equal to H rho G, where H is the height or the depth of object, that is how much water is above the object, then rho is the density of the fluid, and then G is the acceleration due to gravity. So now it is necessary to specify that the tap is closed. It is necessary to specify that the tap is closed. So why is it necessary to specify this? Because if the tap is not closed, then the pressure will gradually decrease as the height decrease. Because the tap is open, the pressure of at the tap is atmospheric. This means, let's say we have the situation. So if it is open from above, then the pressure will change because of the atmospheric pressure. With height there will be change in the atmospheric pressure. So it is necessary to specify that the tap is closed. When the tap is closed, then the amount of air is fixed. Okay, if the tap is closed, then the amount of air is fixed. So no matter how much the height decrease, this air will remain same, so the pressure will remain same. So when it is closed, then no problem, but when it is not closed, then the pressure will gradually decrease. In the second one, we have the heights of mercury surfaces in two arms of manometer, and the heights are 2 cm and 8 cm. Now the atmospheric pressure is given. We need to find the pressure of the gas in the cylinder and the pressure of the mercury at the bottom of the U tube. So let's first draw the situation. The situation is like this. Let's say this is our container. We have an opening here. From here we have a U tube. In which we have mercury. Let's say this is the mercury. Like this. So in this whole region mercury is present. Now we need to first, in the first part, we need to find the pressure at the bottom of the, or the pressure of the gas in the cylinder. We need to find that. So there is gas here. This is mercury, Hg. So the first part. So when you need to find the pressure of the gas, so we can find the pressure of gas indirectly. So the mercury here, so the pressure here and here at the bottoms will be same. So by that we can find it. So here the pressure is due to, some part is due to the gas. This much part is due to the gas, and this much part is due to the mercury. So here pressure due to gas plus pressure due to mercury will be rho GH, that is rho of mercury's density H2 into G, and it will be equal to, here air is present, so pressure due to air plus this much is rho gh again into h1 height into G. So this pressure will be same, so this part and this part will have same pressure. So by that we can find the pressure of gas, which will be equal to Pa plus rho gh G h1 minus h2, and by putting the value you can find the pressure due to gas, which will come out to be 1.09 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square or Pascal. In the second part we need to find the pressure at the bottom of the U-tube. So we need to find the pressure at the bottom of the U-tube. So here the pressure will be pressure due to air plus rho g h into h1 into G. Okay, you can do it by this or you can do it by this, it will be same. So it will come out to be 1.12 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per meter square or Pascal. So in the second case this will be the pressure. So just find the pressure by either this part or this part. In the third question, there is the piston like this. The area of cross section of the wider part is given, and if the boy standing on the piston weighs 45 kg, so we need to find the difference in the level of waters in the two tubes. So what will be the difference in the water level? So the third part, so the situation is something like this. There is a boy here, so we need to find the difference in the height, that is this height. So we need to find this difference. Now, so how can you find this? So in one part pressure is due to air plus h rho g water, and in other part again pressure is due to air plus force upon area given by this. So force, that is weight mg upon area. So you can ignore air from both the parts. So h rho g will be equal to mg over a. So h will be mg m over a rho. So by this you can find the height. So what we have taken? We have taken this level as our reference level. So here one pressure is due to air and one pressure is due to the person, and here one pressure is due to the air and one pressure is due to the water. So this level is considered. We know that at the same level the pressure is same. Let me write it. At the same level pressure is same. So we are taking this level. So once you put all the values, you will find that the height will come out to be 50 centimeters. In the fourth question, we have a glass full of water and bottom area is given to 20 centimeter square. Top of area is also 20 centimeter square. Height of the water is 20 centimeter in the container, and volume is half a liter. So we need to find the force exerted by water on the bottom, and considering the equilibrium of water, we need to find the resultant force exerted by the sides of the glass on the water as well. So the fourth one, so the first part, force exerted at the bottom, it will be equal to force due to cylindrical water column. plus the atmospheric force. So there are two forces. So first of all, what will be this force? So it will be pressure into area. So pressure is h rho g into area, and plus again pressure of air into area. So A h rho g plus pressure of air. So once you put the values, you will get 205 or 4 Newton approximately this value. Now in the second part, in the B part, how can we solve? So we need to find the resultant force exerted by the sides of the glass. So by the free body diagram and the diagram that is given, we can say that the pressure due to air into area plus mg equal to pressure h rho g into area plus air pressure into area. So again this part will get cancelled out. We will have mg equal to a h rho g. One more force is there, Sf. So there will be this force provided by the surface. So by using this formula you can find the value of the force applied by the glass on the water. Now in question number 5, if the previous question is used, what will be the answer to the problem if the air inside the jar is completely pumped out? So it is simple. In this part what we will have, we will not have this pressure by air, so only the force will only be, it will only be h rho w g into area, only this much. And if the glass of different shape is used, provided the volume, height and area remain same, so there will not be any change, because you can see in the formula nothing will change if the volume, height and area remain the same. So density is same, so Ng is constant, so nothing will change. This is constant, this is constant, h and area they have given us constant, so nothing will change if the shape if the different shapes are used, providing height and area and volume remain same. So shape doesn't affect the force if height, volume, area are same. You can see in this formula. Now in question 6 we are asked if water is used instead of mercury in the barometer, so what will be the height of water column? So the sixth one, so the pressure is same, pressure will remain same, so h rho g will be equal to h rho, let's say height h1 h2 density of mercury into g, so the pressure will remain same. So from here you can see that h1 height of the water will be equal to h2 rho hg upon rho water. So once you solve this, you will find that it will be equal to approximately 1033.5 centimeter, approximately around this much. In the seventh question, we have to find the force exerted by water on a 2 meter square plane surface of large stone placed at the bottom of a sea 500 meter deep. And does this force depend on the orientation of the surface? So this is seventh one. So force is pressure into area, which is h rho wg into area. The value will be, it will come out to be 10 to the power 7 Newton once you put all the values. And no, it will not depend on the orientation of the rock as long as the surface area remains same, because height is same, densities of water is same, G is same, and but only the area. If area is same, then it does not matter in which orientation the rock is in. In the next question, water is filled in a rectangular tank of size 3 into 2 into 1 meter. We need to find a lot of things, total force and a lot of things. So let's try to find. So 8th one. So first thing, the force can be found out using basic formula, pressure into area. This is pressure, this is area. So it will come out to be 60,000 newtons. Next, the force exerted by water on the strip of width delta x. Force exerted by water on the strip of width delta x, it will be given by dF equal to pressure into area, which will be x rho g into area. Once you solve this, here we can write x delta x, which will give us the area and the height. So after solving, you will find that the force will come out to be 20,000 x delta x newtons. Now how to find the torque? So the torque can be found out by this formula, force into perpendicular distance, or F cross R. It will be 20,000, and here 1 minus x will be there, delta x Newton meter. In the next part, we need to find the total force. So it will get integrated from 0 to 1. So 20,000 x delta x. So it will give us 20,000 x square by 2, 0 to 1, 20,000 1 square by 2 minus 0 square by 2, so it will not be any use. So 10,000 Newton. In the last part, the torque by the water on the side, it can be found out by, again we have found out the force x delta x, 1 minus x, so it will give us 20,000 after integration x square by 2 minus x cube by 3 from 0 to 1. So once you put the limits, 20,000 1 square by 2 minus 1 cube by 3 minus 0 square by 2 plus 0 cube by 3. So it will give you 20,000 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3. After simplification, you will find 10,000 by 3 Newton meter. Oh, here one mistake is there. I forgot to write x also, x delta x, and 1 minus x is the perpendicular distance. In the 9th question, we have an ornament weighing 36 gram in air, and it weighs only 34 gram in water. So we need, assuming that some copper is mixed with gold to prepare the ornament, we need to find the amount of copper in it. Specific gravities are given. So 9th one. So the mass composed of gold and copper, Au is gold, and total is 36 gram. Now let V be the volume of ornament. Unit is centimeter cube. So V rho W into G equal to 2G mg. Okay, mass into, this is mass. Mass is density into volume, because density is mass upon volume. So volume has two parts, gold part and copper part. Rho W into G, let's cancel G. Now at the place of volume of gold we will write mass upon density of gold plus mass upon density of copper into density of water equal to 2. Now let's put the values. (19.3), 8.9 into 1 equal to 2, 8.9 MAU plus 19.3 MCU equal to 2 into 19.3 into 8.9. So after simplification we will have 8.9 MAU plus MCU equal to 8.9 into 36, and this equation will be this much. So by these two equations we can simplify this. This is equation 1, this is equation 2. So this is obtained from equation 1. So from here you can find that mass of copper 2.25 G. So the amount of copper in the ornament is this much. In the 10th question we need to refer to the 9th question. Suppose the goldsmith argues that he has not mixed copper or any other material with gold, rather some cavities might have been left inside the ornament. So calculate the volume of the cavities left that will allow the weights given in the problem. So now we need to consider that instead of copper or any other impurity there is some cavity remained, that is the gold ornament is hollow from some places. So 10th one, plus cavity. Okay, this is the volume of gold plus volume of cavity into density of water into G equal to 2G. Okay, so by this you can find the volume of the cavity. Once you put everything you will find that the volume of cavity is 0.112 centimeter cube. In the 11th question we have a metal piece of mass 160 gram. It lies in equilibrium inside a glass of water. Now the piece touches the bottom of the glass at a small number of points. If density of metal is this much, then find the normal force exerted by the bottom on the glass of the glass on the metal. 11.1. So the situation is something like this. There is some object here which is touching at some points. So here mg will be equal to u plus r. U is the upward thrust. And r is the normal force. provided by the surface. So R equal to mg minus upthrust is given by volume into density into g. This is the mass of water displaced. This is the weight of the water displaced. So now mg minus, at the place of volume we can write density of the object rho w into g. So once you solve this, R will be 1.4 newtons.